Hello everybody, welcome to The Tube. We got a lot going on tonight, and that's our lovely lineup. France's war on internet giants. An Israeli startup wins Starbucks. Another Israeli startup reinvents reading. The stock exchange meets virtual reality. Our daily viral video madness at The Social Watch, and so much more. Let's go. Okay, so the internet is burning, at least the American internet. The internet exploded on the moment that the grand jury in Missouri came down with its not guilty verdict in the Ferguson trial on the shooting to death of an unarmed teenager called Michael Brown. And while fear of riots filled the mainstream media, social media had a riot of its own. Twitter is burning again with non-stop news and harsh discussions from within the city of Ferguson and from protests across the US. Even celebrities, as you can now see on screen, are now speaking their mind on the subject. Every opinion counts. Earlier this year, when protesters in Ferguson faced heavy backlash from a repressive police force, the best place to go live for information from the scene was not the television networks. Rather, if you wanted an up-to-the-second reporting, your best bet was Twitter. Well, it still is. The revolution will be tweeted. Lately, it seems France, well, it doesn't like the fact that American internet companies are trying hard to break into the French market. Because, well, France. France's Association of the Protection of Consumers and Users has now sued Netflix for malicious and illegal clauses. Netflix's entrance to the French market has already been, well, bumpy when regulators forced it to include a quota of French movies in their service. Google are also on the radar. France is now threatening Google with a hefty €1,000 penalty for every defaming link the company fails to remove from its global network of Google subsidiaries. But Uber's French launch has been, if anything, the most controversial yet, with almost daily friction between taxi drivers and Uber drivers from Paris to Lille. The Uber service is about, well, 20% cheaper than French taxis. Hey France, well, I don't know, good luck fighting America. Wireless mobile phone charging may finally become mainstream, and it's all thanks to an Israeli company and the Starbucks coffee chain. Earlier this week, Starbucks rolled out wireless charging mats in 200 of its San Francisco area cafes, ahead of a national deployment of the technology. The charging stations are powered by Israeli startup PowerMat, which developed a wireless charging station allowing customers to charge phones without an outlet or a charger. Users can borrow a special charging stick that connects to their phone on a per-use basis, or purchase one for $9.99 from a participating store. So power up and check it out.
Imagine you're enjoying a perfectly lovely day. The sun is out, the air is warm, life is good. But then you notice your battery is nowhere near 100%, and it kind of takes the wind out of your sails. What if there's an emergency at work? Or worse, like what if Samantha, the girl you met at Brad's barbecue, sends you a text because she needs a strong dude like you to help move a couch? Or just drop by with a frappuccino because she's been moving couches? No worries. Just head to the nearest Starbucks with a PowerMat charging spot and get your groove back. PowerMat at Starbucks is the easy way to charge your phone. Just get a PowerMat ring, plug it in, and start recharging wirelessly. Now you'll always have all the power you need.
Guess what? We've got here another Israeli startup making some international waves just for you. In continuation of our quest for Israeli startups that can help your kid be smarter, we are going for the holy grail that is in the basis of every child's education, that's reading. The SparkUp Magical Book Reader is a device which clips onto books and lets you record the audio for each page so that your children can later hear you reading it to them as they flick through the pages on their own. That means that even when you're away, you can still read read to your kid his favorite bedtime story. With us in the studio to turn the page on this story is Amir Koren, CEO of SparkUp. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
So, where did this really cool idea come from? How does it work?
How does it work, or where does it come from?
Where did it come from? And then we'll get to how does it work.
So it all started like 4 years ago when a friend, an Israeli friend, told us that when he was doing his reserve duty in the army, they had a ceremony in the house. He has 4 daughters, and each time he went to a service, he took an audio cassette, the old school ones, and recorded stories for his 4 daughters. And we listened to these stories and said, wow, what a cool idea for a gift, really gift, with a real meaningful gift. So it
started there.
It started there, and like 4 years. It was 4 years ago, and now we're here.
4 years later, we have this. So
we
how
have
does this work?
This is a gadget. Today we call it a platform which makes children fall in love with reading and books. It started from the original idea of personalized reading, and today we have 2 basic ways you use it. You either record any book you have at home with your own voice, grab a book from your bookshelf, clip it on, read it once, and then it can replicate your reading many times. Or you can download professional recordings from our website. It's a collaboration we're doing today with the biggest publishers of the world. So when you have a book which is already preloaded, you take this device, you clip it onto the back cover of the book. There is a camera in here. And when I will turn this button in here, the camera will recognize which book it is. And I will flip through the pages, the camera will recognize which page I am.
Can you demonstrate?
So, yeah. So let's put the microphone here.
Shrek by William Steig. Read for you by Stanley Tucci.
So let's flip to the first page.
Shrek. His mother was ugly, and his father was ugly, but Shrek was uglier than
And
the
it
two
goes on
of
and
them
on
put
and
together.
reads the entire page and recognizes when you flip.
Yeah, let's say I'm flipping
A full
several
99
pages, okay?
yards, and vent smoke from. Soon he came upon a peasant singing and scything. You there, varlet, said Shrek.
Seamless.
Why so
It's
blind?
seamless. And when I want to shut it down, I simply close the book.
This reply. I'm happy scything in the rye.
Okay, before we continue talking, let's watch your company's latest ad. Take a look. We'll be here for some more questions. No, don't let your kids become zombies. No, but I understand that it's a really cool ad. So I can understand how it can help kids enjoy reading, but can that really help them to learn how to read?
So the basic concept we are approaching is make children, while they're young, engage more with books. Many researches show that if child in the age of 3 to 6, before he knows how to read, if he spend more time with books, with his parents and alone, it has more. He will have more chances to read more books when he gets older, when he knows how to read, and therefore have more chances to succeed in university and so on and so on. So the basic thing is to give little children in the age of preschool, pre-reading, more time with books, more enjoyable time with books, independently, without any connection to the parents if they are working, busy, and so on.
Yeah, well, let's hope that, that parents that are tired of reading the same story again and again and again and again won't use it too much because, kids like their parents.
Sure. So the main, the biggest marketing challenge we have today is to explain parents, this thing is not a parent substitute. It's not something that's coming to replace you as parents. It's coming to give the children more enjoyable time with your voice. So let's say now I'm here. My kid she's back home. Now I can read to her a story while I'm here working. Going traveling and so on and so on. The mother, instead of giving her child the iPad or YouTube or something else, she can give the child a book with her voice reading to him.
Yeah, that sounds lovely. There aren't many Israeli startups that sell real physical retail product. Why do you think that is?
Because it's a super challenging adventure. You know, here in Israel, like if you will describe the classic Israeli startup company, it will usually start from two friends that were together in a technological unit in the army, went through the army and have really a nice idea for technology. Then they're going developing it. And usually you will find Israeli startups with technology within products or within, you know, mobile apps, Facebook's apps, etc. If it's an actual device, it will probably be a military device, a big medical device. When you come to a real consumer products, the food chain or the ecosystem you need to develop in order to make such a startup a success is huge. You have to have manufacturing in China, distribution all over the world, R&D in Israel. It's a very, very complex situation.
Sounds super challenging. Now, really shortly, what does SparkUp, what does the SparkUp's future look like?
It looks like very interesting. So we are now finishing our, first pilots in several countries in Europe, in Asia, and now we're preparing for 2015, like the big launch in the US. We are in negotiations with the big US, like the biggest US retailers. We are now starting our second financing round, and we have very interesting vision. So it looks nice.
I love the startup. Thank you very much for being here this evening.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on. For some investors, pie charts and graphs are all that's needed to navigate their way through their portfolios. But in an attempt to lure millennials and reorient their views of the stock market, one investment company called Fidelity launched a program that uses video game technology to help investors understand their holdings. So, welcome to Stock City, a virtual reality landscape dotted with skyscrapers representing the stocks in a person's investment portfolio. A web version was released Wednesday at fidelitylabs.com, but Stock City ultimately is meant to be viewed on the Oculus Rift. Watch.
Our Stock City is a unique 3D environment that allows you to process financial information easily without ever seeing a single number or percentage. Each building is a stock, and the height of the building represents the price. The footprint of the building is based on the 90-day trading volume and shares outstanding. When the market's open, it's daytime, and when the market's closed, it's night. Sunshine and rain tell you whether the market is up or down. Well, now there's no need to imagine, because it's real. What you're seeing here is just our first prototype, someone's lists of stocks to watch. It's an experiment with everyday patterns and shapes and 3D technology, but think about what the future could hold.
This makes me feel old. Why? I don't know. Okay, well, you hear that sound? It's our mem alarm. New York Giants rookie wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. made what many football fans are already calling the greatest catch ever. Well, during the first half of Sunday night's game against the Dallas Cowboys, of course, it went viral. The web, or to be more precise, the American web, was so overwhelmed it had to respond in thousands and thousands of memes on this pure sportive moment. Amazing. Wow. Seriously? Funny. Lovely, lovely. But Americans, just don't get your football here. It's strange. Okay, Secret Cinema is still one of the funnest events in the world, in which organizers are screening a movie while recreating that movie. Now they've done it to Back to the Future, and it looks too cool for school.
Mr. Sandman, Mr.
Oh, wow, looks awesome. And now to end the show on a low note, we have to have the best ferret we ever saw. He already has 2 million views on YouTube, so the internet knows best. Oh dear, they convinced him to jump and he didn't make it. That's super funny. Okay, that's it. This show is over. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be here tomorrow. Log on to our Twitter, to our Tumblr. It's TheTube24. And always remember, when you truly don't care what anyone thinks of you, you have gotten dangerously close to something called freedom. Goodbye.